In this slideshow demonstration, I'll explain the decisions I made when using this photograph to create a painting. Hi, I'm Kim Victoria, and I took this photograph near Watchman Campground in Zion National Park, Utah. I take photos with paintings in mind. I don't worry about things like power lines or if the lighting, framing, or exposure isn't perfect. These are just reference shots for me. In this instance, I liked the diagonal lines that contrasted with the vertical rocks and that create a strong silhouette against the sky. The structure is a simple one, and because it's a simple composition, I chose to challenge myself to treat this painting as if I were standing there painting plein air, outdoors on site, which means I need to make decisions fast, keep the brushwork fresh, and avoid overworking anything. My first decision was deciding on my color palette. As I had just finished painting clouds over Zion, white and cerulean blue were already available, to which I added good rock and mixing colors: Mars red, burnt umber, yellow ochre, and cobalt blue. Instead of practicing with a thumbnail drawing, I prepared for a direct approach by toning the canvas with a mix of yellow ochre and turpenoid first. Continuing to use yellow ochre with less turpenoid, I did my thinking process directly on the canvas. I am drawing with the brush, increasing the drama of the slope. And because these base layers of paint are mixed with turpenoid, they dry quickly, allowing me to progress without waiting. If I were really painting on location, en plein air, I wouldn't have much time to capture the light, so I'm working quickly to establish the light and dark pattern, the values. My brushstrokes emphasize the energy and shapes of the slope and rock faces. I want a three-dimensional, strong, solid feeling to these rocks. Working quickly forces me to use bold strokes and ignore fussy details. The focal area rocks need to stand out to attract the most attention from the viewer. So I start there with thick paint and strong contrast. Using local color, which are the actual colors of the rocks and sky, this area must set the tone or key of the whole painting. Once I know where I'm going, decisions get a lot easier throughout the process. The towering rocks are the most important part of the composition. Everything else must visually support those rocks, so I am continuing to establish their prominence. I am also mindful of the lines that connect the formation, that are the actual lines of the sandstone layers. This helps to make it feel real. Remembering to work quickly, I scumbled in the sky area, creating a rhythm of diagonal lines to match the slope. But there are also horizontal movements I put in the sky area to keep the feeling of the painting stable and safe, which is what horizontal lines do. This is red rock country after all, so I laid down a layer of red oxide to build the forms of the slope area. Notice also the vertical connections from the lower area to the rock thrust above. This also adds to the unity and gives the upper rocks roots. In the photograph, I saw that the green dots of plants follow the line of the slope, creating a pattern of lines. Because the diagonal line is important, I start with that. You can see now how I've added to the foliage so it has movement not just diagonally but also horizontally and vertically. The foreground rocks appear more solid now, but they don't attract too much attention away from the focal mass of the rocks at the top. I avoided all fussy details, striving for just enough visual information to give you, the viewer, a feeling of the place in this evening light. One of my overall goals in painting in general is to use more paint, thicker paint. Let texture be part of the story. It's kind of hard to tell in a photograph, but I did achieve an effective amount of texture in this particular work. My intention and goal was to make the vertical rocks dominant and with a feeling of strength and solidity. The other challenge I gave myself was to treat this painting process as if I were on location, which means that I might not have been able to finish before the sun went down. Yet, this really was a good exercise in painting with confidence, making decisions quickly, and feeling like I could have done this work en plein air successfully. And so, how is it working for you? Where does your eye go? Can you feel movement throughout the composition? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd welcome your comments. And also share with anyone you feel would enjoy this particular demonstration. Thank you for watching. I'm Kim Victoria, wishing you happy painting. Bye for now.